Yo, what is up guys, welcome back to another weekly chart breakdown video, and as always we start off on the pair GBPJPY and we start off on the weekly time frame. So as we can see here on GJ has been in a huge bullish run for the last few months, and I do see continuation of the overall bullish trend. So the weekly candle closed in a strong bullish candle, and then when we go down into the daily time frame, we can see that at the beginning of the week, price was struggling to break above this resistance right here. Ultimately, at Friday, it ended up breaking out above and closing back above this resistance right here. So that's also a sign that we could see continuation in the overall bullish trend. And now when we go down into the 4-hour time frame, we can look for possible entry areas. So the first area that we have here is this strong daily resistance right here that have been rejected 3 times by now. So as long as price maintains below this area right here, we could wait for a pullback into this previous resistance area, which we have right here and here. And basically just go for a break and retest setup, which ultimately will look like a break, retest, entry signal here on the 15 or 30-minute time frame, and then take buys up into this area here, and then from this area here see how price would like to react based on that area. Now the other scenario would be to wait for a breakout above this area, wait for a 4-hour candle close, wait for a pullback, wait for an entry signal to then to take buys up into this next weekly support and resistance area that I've marked off right here. And then I would only be looking for sells if price should come back below this support here, break, close under, have a pullback, give me an entry signal to then take sales down into this next support area right here, from which then we could possibly continue seeing bullish momentum to the upside, because we do need to keep in mind that the overall trend on GJ is bullish right now. So I will mainly only be looking for buys. But I do believe that this is going to have some beautiful setups next week, so I'm really looking forward to take high probability buys based on the market structure. Okay, so now coming to GBPUSD on the weekly time frame as well, we can see that we are still in an overall bullish trend, just like I predicted last week, that I was expecting some form of a pullback, because here we've had a new higher high, and in this area it could be our potential higher low area before we see the continuation of the overall bullish trend on the weekly time frame. And as we can see, the weekly time frame closed in a bullish engulfing candle as well, respecting this major support and resistance area that we've had here before. So then coming down into the daily time frame and activating my levels, we see that there has been a form of a market structure shift. So we were basically bearish right here, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, and now we've broken above this last high right here, creating a new higher high, a new higher low, and then a new higher high. So the market structure on the daily time frame now has switched to bullish as well. And then going down into the 4-hour time frame, what we can see here as well is clear as day the shift in market structure, and that's also why I drew this trend line right here to show it off again. So basically lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, low right here, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, and then we switch the market structure to the upside, also ultimately breaking this bearish trend line right here, and then coming back for a retest into this trend line here, and then ultimately changing the structure to bullish structure again, which goes together with the overall weekly time frame and bullish trend on the weekly time frame as well. So then keeping in mind that the weekly is bullish, the daily has switched to bullish, and the 4-hour time frame is bullish right now as well, I will mainly only be looking for buys. So the first scenario is that as soon as the market opens, we could see price bounce along this support here, then give us some entry signal during London session to then take buys up into this next resistance here. That will be the first scenario. Second scenario is that we have a pullback back into this 4-hour support and resistance area right here, and then price bounces here and goes up. And third scenario is that we can see another pullback into this daily support area right here, support and resistance area here and here and here. So we could see pullback into this area before continuing the overall bias. And I will only be looking for sells if we should break and close under this daily support here. Then I will wait for a pullback, wait for an entry signal to then take sells down into this next daily support and resistance area. Now, if price should maintain above this support, we could wait for a break of this highs, then wait for a pullback, just like drawn out here. So basically a break and retest setup to the upside as well. But I will mainly only be looking for buys, like I said, unless we break under this daily support here. That's when I will be switching my overall bias to bearish for short term. And now finally coming to gold dollar. So here on the weekly time frame, we're basically still pretty bullish, creating higher high, higher low, higher high, and this could be our potential higher low area on the weekly time frame. But then we also need to keep in mind that we've kind of broken this structure right here. Since we broke the last low on the weekly time frame, then price came back up in this weekly candle right here, tried to break above but just rejected, closed in a rejection candle. So all of that is pretty much showing a lot of bearish momentum. And on the daily time frame, we can also see that price is in an overall bearish trend still. And as long as it maintains below this weekly support and resistance area right here, we could look to continue looking for sells. So coming down into the 4-hour time frame, basically what we could wait for is one of this scenario. So the first scenario would be to wait for a pullback back into this support and resistance area, which we have here and here. So wait for a pullback into this area, wait for a selling entry signal, then take sells down into this previous support right here. That's scenario number 1, to look for sells. Scenario number 2, to look for sells and safer sells, will be to wait for a break and retest of this support here and then take sells more to the downside. And then if you want to look for buys or short-term buys, you could wait for a break above this support, wait for a 4-hour candle close above, like here, wait for a pullback, wait for an entry signal to then take buys into this next resistance. And same thing here, break and retest set up into this resistance right here. So ultimately, the safer buys would be to wait for the break of structure to the overall upside. So that will be a break of these highs here, because they, as you can see, they've been rejected time and time again. So if we get a nice break and it close above this resistance, now then we could see bullish momentum all the way up into this next support and resistance area on the daily time frame. So for now, it's just basically react and adapt. Just observe what the market is telling you. It could go in either way, but I'm still more bearish bias as of right now, but that could change really quick depending on news especially as well, and just the overall market structure. So that's the video for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.